So I want to welcome everybody to Netflix and YouTube, and today we're going to be talking about, who would guess, Netflix and YouTube. So here's a question: have any of you ever tried to say watch a TV show? We need to start with this because this is very useful. If you're from Canada, I know some of you are from Canada. One of my favorite Canadian shows is from the CBC. It's called CBC Marketplace. I'm sure you've heard of it. It's a great show. It has no advertisers because they slam every company in the world, and I love them. So they have no advertisers left. I think Bill O'Reilly should go work over there, but that's another story for another time. But I also love... Oh, come on. That's a joke. It was a Bill O'Reilly joke. It's current times. I don't know how I feel about that. But anyone from the UK?
Yeah.
I like to watch 4 On Demand. Do you know 4 On Demand?
Yeah.
4OD. And if you're from the US, have you ever tried to watch US cable or US things overseas and it just goes, no, I'm sorry, you can't do this because you're in this specific country. So I want you to remember that because we're going to go back to that because I'm sure, have we all experienced something like that before where it says, hey, you can't access this content because you're not in this specific country. Remember that because we're going to go back to that, and that's kind of going full circle. But I want to talk about Netflix. How many of you have subscribed to Netflix before? Now, the origins of Netflix are really interesting. The guy who created Netflix, his name was Reed Hastings. I see your hand there. Was Reed Hastings, and he created Netflix because he rented a DVD from Blockbuster. It might have been a VHS, who knows. He rented a disc from Blockbuster, and he didn't return it for 6 months. He forgot it in the back of his car. And when he went to go return it, they wanted to charge him a couple $100 for them to give the DVD back. He was better off not returning it. So he found a way to mail DVDs via the mail. Here's something very important. When you have a DVD, the rights for those DVDs live on the DVD. Does that make sense? If you have something physical, the rights for that live on the DVD. So when Netflix was originally shipping DVDs, do you know how they did it? They sent their employees to the nearest Walmart, bought all the copies of a new TV show that came out, and sent them out. But you know what they didn't need to buy when they did that? Rights. They didn't need to buy the rights because the rights came with the disc. Does that make sense to everybody? When you have a piece of physical media, the rights come with the disc. Where Netflix and YouTube get very interesting is there a disc anymore? There's not a disc. It's digital. And this is why Netflix has changed, and YouTube is going to start to change as well. So I'm going to open up my Netflix account on my phone real quick, and I want to talk about my Netflix account. Now, here's the first thing you'll notice. If you look at Netflix nowadays, unfortunately it doesn't work sideways. If you look at Netflix, you look at the stuff on Netflix, a majority of the stuff on Netflix is made by Netflix. If you've had a Netflix account. What's interesting is why Netflix is making more and more content is if Netflix makes their own content, are there any restrictions to where that content can be played back? No. Are you starting to see where this is going? Netflix is toppling traditional media by making content that's able to be played back anywhere in the world. So even in countries where Netflix does not exist, if you are a Netflix subscriber, you can watch Netflix content. But I want you to understand that when you have digital content, the rights are also done digitally. Does that make sense? That's why a lot of the stuff is digital. Now, if you have Netflix, something that was a pain in people's butts for many years was, okay, I have Netflix, what if I don't have an internet connection? One of the cool things you may not know is very, very recently, about 2-3 months ago, Netflix actually started allowing you to download stuff from Netflix to your device.
Really?
Yes. You probably didn't know that. That's why I mentioned it. Well, here's the thing. Only things that they had the rights to allow you to download to your device, which is mainly their own content. Now, when Netflix started, one of their first original series was House of Cards. I don't know if you ever saw House of Cards.
Yeah.
But if you watched House of Cards, when they had House of Cards, they had one series that was House of Cards, and everything else, if you wanted to watch Jurassic Park and you lived in the United States, you could watch the movie Jurassic Park. But if you lived in Canada or in the UK, guess what? And you still can't watch Jurassic Park if you're in Canada and the UK, but you can watch that. Here's the interesting thing now, that nobody's going to give you these numbers. Netflix now has 70% of the content on Netflix's website they make. The cool thing a lot of people don't realize is, do you know that Netflix still does mail DVDs?
Yes.
Do you know why they still mail DVDs? Because the rights are on the disc. So you can watch a movie the day it comes out if you still have a DVD, well, 2 days after it comes out because they have to mail it to you, if you still have the DVD subscription. It's not as big of a business model anymore, but the rights come on the disc. So any show you would want to download, let's say I've got this Netflix show right here, I can go ahead, this is Master of None. I actually have some downloads that have completed, but I can go in and I can look at episodes. I have a lot of episodes here. Let me go into my completed downloads. These are shows that I've gone ahead and I've already downloaded. So I actually downloaded all 12 episodes of this show. So if I go into a show, let me show you an empty show. Okay, so you see I have this little arrow right here that's pointing down? If I hit on that, I'm actually able to go ahead and download a show. So I hit there, and it'll download my device, and I can watch it without an internet connection. Now the thing about, yep.
Where do you put them?
Where do I put them? So on your iPhone, they just go into the main storage of the phone. If you have an Android phone, they can go into the SD card. They made an update a couple of days ago. I don't know how many of you know Damien from Guest Relations, the big black guy. I love Damien. He's a good buddy of mine. He has an Android tablet that has 8 gigs of storage on it. He's like, I need more storage. So he's like, can you lend me a micro SD card so I can watch a TV show? So I lent him a micro SD card. He loaded a whole series down onto his micro SD card to give you a little idea. But you can go in and you don't need internet to do it. Now that is not available on every single show or movie or anything like that, but it is available on most. Another great thing I love to hate about Netflix, you notice I said I love to hate, is that when they release a new show, all 12 episodes of that show come out at once. And it encourages what they call binge watching. It's like binge drinking, but you sit there one night and you watch the show. And this is my least favorite class to teach because you know what I'm going to go do tonight? Everybody's talking about this new show, which came out, what's today? Today's Tuesday. It came out on Monday. It's called 13 Reasons Why. I haven't started watching it yet, but if I click in, guess what I'm going to be doing tonight? I'm going to watch 13 Reasons Why. I'm going to start on that. And I'm going to go to episode number 1, and guess what? It automatically rolls into episode number 2. And automatically rolls into episode number 3. And I can go in and I can go, oh wow, tape 1, sign. Okay, I don't know what this is about, but guess what? I'm going to download them. Very simple, very, very easy. The thing you need to understand is more and more content that you're going to see on Netflix is Netflix's own content. And if you talk about Netflix, you talk about Amazon, you notice they're now winning Academy Awards. They're now winning Oscars. They're now winning Academy Awards. Do you think traditional TV is incredibly scared of this? Of course they're incredibly scared of this. Yeah?
I used to do the disc.
You used to do this?
I had a program that probably cost me $1.50 for every disc.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And I would get them right away and I could play them. Now so then I subscribe to the
digital,
and they want $3.99 and $4.99 and $5.99.
So
the same disc that I could have gotten.
Here's the problem. Is because the disc is not as big demand anymore, so you have a smaller subsegment of the market going ahead and paying for that. So yes, the disc prices have gone up now that they have the digital, because they're not buying it as big a volume.
No, I meant when you want to go digital, you have to pay for a movie that I would get on
the disc. And who's caused a lot of that is the movie studios. A lot of that's been caused by the movie studios.
Because I called them up and they said, well, we've got to pay.
One of the things that's very interesting, if you know anything about movies, I study a lot about movies, I read, is Windows. Not Windows, the computer, is how long before something's in theater and it's released. You'll notice they're showing some movies in Celebrity Central here that are not available on DVD yet because we get them from a company. Windows are a crazy thing. They're starting to release things digital first, but here's the thing to understand. There are movies right now that are released on Netflix, they're not in the theaters yet, and they go in the theaters a month or 2 later. There's been a couple movies like that. Al Gore has a follow-up to The Inconvenient Truth. That's actually going to premiere on Netflix before it premieres in theaters. To give you a little idea. So it's interesting, it's a content distribution platform, but here's what I want you to do. Number 1, you can download things from it. Number 2, I think this is the most important thing, anything that's made by Netflix is region free. And what I mean by that is if you're from the US, you can watch it in the UK, you can watch it in Australia, you can watch it anywhere like that. That's what a lot of people don't comprehend. So anything that says Netflix on there is region free. See how it says Netflix, it says Netflix, it says Netflix. These are all completely region free, and that's what's really cool. Yeah. Well done.
But right now, with the U.S. account and outside the U.S., you couldn't even get on to Netflix.
That's not true at all.
It's now okay.
Oh, in Mexico, they say we can't connect.
They say you can't connect in Mexico?
Yeah.
I've gotten on before.
They're afraid, I think, someone's ripping
They're
them
afraid
off.
someone's ripping them. I can't speak to Mexico, but I've done it in different countries all over the world, and I've not run into issues. There are ways around everything, but there's not ways I will get into it.
We did Barbados yesterday.
And it was fine in Barbados?
Yeah.
But you were probably watching, so they did Barbados yesterday. I know Barbados doesn't natively have a Netflix account. So what happens though, in Barbados, you likely only saw the content that's cleared for worldwide distribution.
Yeah.
So you only saw the Netflix thing. This has changed in the past few months. So if you haven't been to, when were you in Mexico?
Last year.
Last year. So now, as of like December of last year, Netflix made content, Netflix branded content is available all over the world. It's very, very cool. I wanted to give you a little idea on that. But now I want to talk to the bigger animal in the room, which is YouTube. Yeah.
Going back to Netflix.
Yeah?
You said I have to have an account with them?
You have to have a Netflix account, yes.
Okay, so how do I do that?
So you go to Netflix and you sign up. Here's the one thing you don't want to do. I'm going to tell you, this is important. I'm glad she asked that. Do not subscribe to Netflix through the App Store. What I mean by that is don't go into the App Store and buy your subscription to the App Store, because that is 30% more expensive than just going to Netflix.com and getting it yourself. Yeah, it is.
Is the 4K or the high resolution content any better than the HD? I know the HD.
Okay,
is
so
different
Blondell
than
asked a very good question. Is the 4K resolution better than the HD resolution, better than this resolution, better than that resolution? Here's the answer. If you don't have a TV good enough to view it,
Presume you do.
and you don't have internet fast enough at home to get it,
Presume you have all of that.
well, you'll have it for now, but you might not have that in the future, because Comcast is going to tear apart Netflix in the next few years. So it is, I don't use it. He uses it.
I have a
The
4K
4K,
television, and
I
HDR.
cannot
But-
tell the difference between 4K.
Yeah.
But what they
Brand
do
new
is,
TV.
what Netflix does, for
Yep.
4K content, you have to pay them extra.
Well, I
Of
know,
course.
let's say you pay all of
Yeah,
that, but
yeah.
even with a 4K disc,
Yeah,
4K player.
I can tell the difference.
So you can tell the
between
difference.
that,
Okay.
I cannot.
So we're talking about Netflix, and now I want to talk a little bit about YouTube. Here's the thing to understand. Netflix has hundreds of millions of dollars behind it, and YouTube does not. Now you'll see this little camera that's been sitting here for all the classes. That is actually a camera, this little thing right here. That thing actually records directly to YouTube. And I have my own YouTube channel, and I'm making it better and better all the time. And I'm going to show you something, because you talked about privacy. I want to show you something a little bit, but I first want to talk about YouTube. How many of us have used YouTube before? Okay. I'm going to tell you something, and I guarantee no one in this room has paid for YouTube before, have you?
No.
I pay for YouTube. Now that's going to make your brain hurt a little bit. I agree.
You already make lots of money.
No. I pay for YouTube because I watch enough YouTube and I don't want to watch any ads. So you can actually, I'm just letting you know, you can technically get a subscription to YouTube. I want to just mention this. I don't recommend any of you need this. You get a subscription to YouTube that gives you access to all the videos without ads and lets you download videos from YouTube as well, just to give you a concept. But YouTube is free. And when you go on YouTube, you can go ahead, you can look for things, you can sort things, you can do different things. Now I'll tell you one of my favorite YouTube channels. I wouldn't know what this is called. It's called iLearnReview. I have no clue what that is.
We'll help you.
One of my favorite YouTube channels is it's a channel called iLearnReview, but I'm going to give you an example. So I started this. I have 57 videos on my YouTube channel, and these are all the videos from the class. That's what we've been shooting, all the little videos. So I'm going to turn it sideways so you can see. I can't turn it sideways. But these are all the videos from the class, and you'll see this is the April 2nd voyage, and it shows you all the videos that are there, and you've got all the different voyages, and you've got all that information on there for all of the classes that we've done so far. And here's what's cool. When you find a YouTube channel, so one of the ways that you can get to a YouTube channel easily is sometimes people make a quick URL, a quick website to get there. So if you go to iLearnReview.com, you will see the YouTube channel, my little YouTube channel that I make for the ship. Now you'll see the classes from this cruise, but you'll also see that, you know those little 10-minute ones we shoot at 7:50? That is different every single time. I will never repeat that 7:51 twice. So those go in a different folder. You'll see there's
What are the
iLearn.
ones we pay for?
Some of them are on there. I don't put everything there. But you see I've got this here. And these are all different ones. These are the iLearnReview Lives. And we talk about all these things over time. But here's the thing to understand. You see that button that says subscribe? If you hit subscribe on YouTube, do you know how much it costs you?
No, nothing.
It costs
That's
you
good for you,
nothing.
though.
Wow, it's interesting. If you hit subscribe on YouTube, it costs you nothing. So I have 53 users subscribed right now. It costs me nothing. The word subscribe just means you will get updates. Now, it is always very dangerous when I click on this button, but I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to click on subscriptions, and we're going to see what's in my YouTube subscription channel. Who knows what comes up right now? Okay, nothing crazy. Good. There's nothing that crazy in my YouTube subscription channel. I watch this thing called Plush Time Wins. You're gonna laugh. There's a YouTube following that's got about 300,000 people watching. It's called Plush Time Wins. What these people do is they show you how to win claw machines. I love watching it. But that's a really obscure content. Anybody with a camera can make a YouTube video, and you can learn what's going on. It's called Plush Time Wins. I watch another one called Attractions Magazine. I love the theme park business, so it shows you all new theme parks and different things that come out. Mobile Tech Review, which was good. I don't know what some of these things are. I'm just going to skip through them real quick. This one, I don't know if I played. I know I played the first class. If you were in the first class, the Travel Tech 101, I played a little video on what is Bluetooth, I think, this cruise. Did I play that? Or didn't play that? Okay, I'm getting confused. Then I didn't play it. But there's all of these different ones. What's inside the Samsung Galaxy S8? Well, this guy very intelligently slices it halfway open with a buzzsaw. But here's what's cool. These are the equivalent of my channels, so like on a TV channel. So I don't really watch TV shows. I just subscribe to things on YouTube, and I can go through. Now, the interesting thing is I subscribe to Saturday Night Live and the late night shows and everything like that, and I can watch the Saturday Night Live clips right on there. I can watch the late night show clips right on there. I can watch all of these different things directly on my new favorite earbuds. I can go through and I can read all of these different things on here, and it will also recommend things that I should take a look at. So to use YouTube, though, correctly, you should log into YouTube, because you can only subscribe to things if you log into YouTube. To use it correctly, you should log in to YouTube, and it will allow you to see what's going on and everything like that, and it will recommend content. And what I do is when I go on the treadmill, up in the gym, I go on the elliptical, I just open up my subscriptions, and I go, boop, and it just plays through.
I don't know what you mean about logging, like, because I see my app, I don't.
So there's the YouTube app. When you open up the YouTube app, what you do is you're going to log in. It just says sign in up in the corner. You log in with your Google account, your Gmail account. You've probably already signed in, your Google account. So you have a Google account. You log in and you can hit subscribe and it goes in. But I want to show you something about YouTube that you've never seen before. We've all seen a YouTube video before, right? I'm going to address something that the guys over here asked me about before the class. They said, privacy and things like that. We've all seen a YouTube video before, but have you ever seen the other side of YouTube videos, the people that make the videos, what they can see about their audience? I like to show you this. YouTube has something, you can't see this unless you make a YouTube channel, but this is called YouTube Creator Studio. And what this does is it shows me which of my content is the most engaging, and it allows people to engage with their audience. Now, this is something that traditional TV does not have. We've probably all heard of Nielsen ratings before, right? How you know if someone's watching and different things like that. But it's really hard to tell how long someone's been watching your videos and different things. Like the Amazon video from last night, three people have already watched it. One person gave it a thumbs up. My smartphone and tablet battery thing from last night, so people have already watched it. And I can go in and I can see all of the watches. But here's where this gets interesting. I can see in the last 48 hours, I've had 91 views. Just to give you a little idea, and I can see the most popular content. I can see my watch time in minutes. I've had 6,282 minutes of content watched in the last 28 days, just to give you a little idea.
So if I hadn't logged in, which I never have.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you've logged in or not. I'm going to show you. I would still know you watched it, but I wouldn't know who you are. And this is what I want to show you, because this is where it gets really cool. I've made 45 cents. I'm not doing it for the money, but I can see, here's the important thing. I can see my views, which is subscribed versus not subscribed. So I can see how many people are subscribed, you'll never see this. This is something that you only see as a creator, but I want to let you know. Also, one of the things that I go is, do you see where it says the average, where's my average view duration? The average view duration is 8 minutes and 18 seconds. Meaning on average, I lose people after 8 minutes and 18 seconds, so I got to get my point across in 8 minutes and 18 seconds, if that makes sense. And people can see this information. I can see the number of subscribers, but I can also see, if you're signed into your Google account, I can see the demographics. So I can see it's 61.1% male, 38.9% female, 42.8% 65 and older.
That should bother
So I can see it's 71% from the United States, 16% from Canada, 8% from the United Kingdom, 1.4% from Aruba.
Look at the audience.
Yes, I am the only senior citizen tech channel on YouTube. Yes, number one on YouTube. as far as I know. But I can go in, I can see where people came from and everything like that. But here's the interesting thing. Netflix can see this as well, but I want you to imagine this, because TV companies cannot see this content. They can't see exactly who someone is and things about it. But does it allow you to better cater to your audience?
Sure.
And it does not, and I think this goes back to the discussion we were having before class. Do I know that it was Blondell, or do I know that just someone that was 65 and older that lived in the United States watched my video?
Blondell told you.
Blondell told me. Yeah, I can go in.
Unlikely.
I can go in and I can ask, I can get this information, but it's not personally identifiable information. Now, I want to talk about something that YouTube did earlier in the week, and I think it's really, really interesting. YouTube launched something earlier in the week. I have not found a way to get it yet. I'm going to have to try and find a way to fake it. They launched something called YouTube TV. And what it is, it's not on here yet, but I'm going to show you a competitor to it. For $35 a month, it's available right now in LA, what's the other big city in? LA, San Francisco, Chicago, and New York. For $35 a month, you get access to all the TV stations, and you can hit subscribe, and it will automatically download and record all of the TV shows for you. So you can say, I want Big Bang Theory, and it'll show across all of those. It's only available in those markets because it has local channels on it right now. But there's a competitor that I recommend nobody get. It's called DirecTV Now, and this is from AT&T. And I pay $35 a month for this. I'm dropping it as soon as I get the YouTube. But I pay $35 a month for it, and I actually have access to live TV across all of my devices. There is no cloud DVR on it, and it works really well.
We could do that for Time Warner Cable.
Aha, but here's the thing. You're also paying for cable at home. You have a cable line. I don't have a cable line. So I can get, this is how I watch CNN. You can't watch CNN on the ship. So I can watch CNN. I can watch all these other things. Now, YouTube TV is significantly better than this. But YouTube TV is not available everywhere yet. And I can go in, I can look at...
And we don't need Wi-Fi for that?
You need internet for it, but you don't need a hard line. You don't need a cable line. You can watch it anywhere you have internet. You can watch it on your phone. I don't know why this is... Okay, oh good, Home Alone. I'll go with that. On country music television. But I can go in and I actually have access to it, and I can go through... This is how I watch CNN down in my cabin, is on my Apple TV using this YouTube TV. It's really, well, using DirecTV Now, but YouTube TV is going to circumvent that.
But this will have,
Hmm?
but this will have ads, right? Because
This has ads. This is live TV. So it still has ads, it's live TV. You don't have to pay anything for YouTube. I only pay for YouTube because I don't want ads in my YouTube, and I watch a lot of YouTube videos every single day. But here's the thing I want you to understand. Netflix is what is going to eventually, CMT, okay. So it can't find, here's the problem. You see this right here? It's giving me this warning, but the reason it's giving me this warning is it can't find my location. It's getting angry, it doesn't know where I am, because you can't stream CMT if you're not in the United States. And where are we right now? We're international. In my cabin, I have a faking fix for it, but I don't have it up here. I have a faking fix to get my CNN and to get my country music TV if I want.
Are you saying you're going through a router in the United States?
Yeah, I'm going through a router. I'm going through a VPN in the United States. Just don't worry about it. Don't worry about what I'm doing. I'm a little weird. But that's the cool thing. I wanted to give you guys a little bit of an insight. Now, I'm gonna take questions in a second, but I'll let you know tomorrow night, again, we are not in here. We're going to be in the entertainment court, which is right outside of the theater on deck 4 for the Google Photos Challenge, and we'll be back in here the next day. We're going to be taking a look at the competitor to Alexa, which is called the Google Home, which does work with the TV, which is really cool. I'm going to give you a little insight on Google Photos as well from there. But then we're also going to be taking a look at smartwatches. So the 8 o'clock class on St. Martin night is going to be all about smartwatches. Now, not just smartwatches for Apple devices. I'm going to bring my Android smartwatch as well, just for fun, because I have an Android smartwatch as well. Netflix or YouTube questions real quick. Okay, I got one there.
Is Slingbox obsolete now?
Slingbox has been bought by Dish Network, and it's just being used to stream Dish Network content, to be honest with you. So I love Slingbox, but it's kind of obsolete. Yep.
How are you going to get live sports if you drop DirecTV?
YouTube TV has ESPN 1, 2, and 3 built in. Yes. So that's going to be something that's going to roll out. It's going to roll out in more markets right now. It's only in 4 markets right now for launch. For the last 5 days, I've been trying to fake the fact that I'm in one of those 4 markets, but Google doesn't seem to want to let me fake the fact that I'm
So
in.
your entertainment room, that's the one on 4 that we so you,
It's outside of that room. So
Not
the entertainment court is on the outside of that room, as if you're walking out, where they're usually selling the purses and the jewelry and stuff like that during the C days. That's where the entertainment court is. So it's not in Celebrity Central. It's outside of Celebrity Central, both on deck 4 and deck 5. So that will be tomorrow night. Elsewise, I want to thank everyone for coming. I'll see you around tomorrow night on deck 4 at 8 o'clock for the smartphone camera photo challenge featuring Google Photos, and then Google Photos and Gmail in Celebrity Central at 1 o'clock on the last 2 C days. Google Photos first, Gmail second. I'm going to solve all of your cloud issues. That's my goal. So we're going to talk about all your cloud issues. That's it. Bye!